Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2022-23 season. My name is Dan, and we are back for another deadline stream. Game week 3. I'm actually really excited for this one. I don't know why. I'm particularly excited for game week 3. Maybe it's because Arsenal are doing well. Maybe it's because I like the look of my fantasy team. And maybe it's just because my rank is pretty average right now. And I'm just looking forward to climbing up the leaderboards. I'm feeling confident. You know, it's that time of year where we're all establishing our ranks. And we're all just, you know, a lot of us, particularly us who know FPL a little bit better, and that's all of us guys, by the way. We are just looking at green arrows at the moment, which is all good and fun. So good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you're all excited for the football as well. Is there any members in the chat today? Let's have a look and say hello to some of the channel members. Don't forget you can click the membership button if you want to. It's like, what is it, 99 pence, under £1 per month. It's the cheapest YouTube will let me set it as. And you get to unlock emojis. Custom emojis. Who can go wrong? We've got Paul Van Rensburg in the chat. Fayad Rashid here as well. Dan Cross is here moderating. Things we love to see. Ramsey Unleashed is here as well. Bapos. What's up, guys? What's up? I hope you guys are good. I'm good. I hope you guys are good as well. So yeah. Someone in the chat said so close to 150k. Yeah, we are really close to 150,000 subscribers. I think we need 1,000 more. Not going to happen today, but let's see how close we can get. I think certainly next week, early next week, we probably might be able to hit 150,000 subscribers, which will just be insane. Marco A, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Matthew C is here as well, throwing out that Nathan Ferguson emoji, things that we love to see. There we go. Right, okay, guys. So what you see in front of you is my non-final team. So yeah, as always, and I think we'll probably do this for a few more game weeks just to shake off any people who are copying teams like for like. We'll do this hiding the transfers, the final transfers in the final team. We'll do that for like another 2 weeks, and then we'll go back to normal, because I know at 5 minutes to deadline, a bunch of people are going to appear in this stream saying, "What's your transfer move? I want to do the exact same thing." Come on, guys. You got your own brains, and I know you've got some very good brains out there as well. You guys know what you're doing. You don't need my team. You got your own. I'm sure a few of you guys, to be fair, have pretty similar teams to me as well, but that's all good. But yeah, I have made more transfers. So yeah, there has been transfers to last night. I made some transfers to try and avoid price changes, price moves, trying to get ahead of them a little bit. I thought, all press conferences were done by last night. I'm not really anticipating any last minute injuries. This season, of course, we've got no COVID, so there's no chance of COVID. Well, it's not that we've got no COVID. COVID still exists, but it's not like last year where games are being cancelled right at the last minute. So we can have a little bit more flexibility, particularly at the start of the season where price changes are so volatile. We can go a little bit earlier on them. So yeah, I really feel like if you feel like making transfers early, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. So there we go. We'll reveal that after the deadline. I kind of like it. It builds the excitement. It builds the anticipation. It kind of makes it a little bit fun. A few people are asking in the chat about Perisic, about whether he will play. Obviously, I have nothing concrete whatsoever. I'm wondering if we might get some early team news, because of course Spurs versus Wolves is the early fixture, isn't it? It's the early kickoff. So maybe we do get some. Maybe we'll get some early team news, but as always, it's rare that we get early team news. But if we do, then that'll be good. But if I was to guess right now, if Perisic is going to play or not, I would probably say that Perisic is going to start today. That would be my guess, that Perisic does start today. And I think if he does start today, he can score quite well. So certainly, if you own Perisic already, I know a lot of you guys, have been worried about Perisic a little bit. If you have Perisic already, I would definitely be keeping him. There is no way, if I had Perisic right now, I would be selling him. And if I didn't have Perisic, I would strongly consider buying him as well. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Definitely keep him. Consider buying him. If you've got a kind of transfer plan that you need like a defender around the 5.5 million mark, even around the 6 million mark, then Perisic, I think, has to come into that conversation a little bit. We've got a bench list as well today, guys, which I'll bring up in a second. The bench list is a little bare, to be honest. I've only put like 6, 7, 8 players on it so far, so hopefully you guys can help me out. We'll fill it in with some more players, but hopefully it's still going to be kind of helpful at least. Also, I hope you guys have got your blackcurrant squashes out to the ready. It's got to be done like pre-deadline. Pre-deadline, we got to have a blackcurrant squash. We got to have a squashy. It's got to be done. Show the bench list. All right, let's get on the bench list then, and let's start filling that in. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so I've got the bench list in front of me now. You guys should be able to see this as well. Yeah, like I say, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players on the bench list so far. Those of you guys who know about the bench list already will not need this explaining, but for those of you who are maybe newer to the bench list, oh, what a treat you're in for. So, the bench list is basically my way of answering as many of your guys' questions as possible without having to say anything. So, it's just basically a list of players in priority order of whether you should play them or not. So, you know, a lot of these players you'd be considering putting on your bench, you'd be considering maybe starting, you know, players like Gross, Patterson, Nico Williams, Neto, De Silva, Andreas, Sam Greenwood, and Archer as well. These are kind of players who are kind of, they're floating, maybe not all of them, but some of them will be floating between, do you start them, do you bench them? What am I going to do on this particular game week? This list hopefully tells you. So the higher they are on the list, the more I think you should play them. The lower they are on the list, the less I think you should play them. So let's add some players. I'm seeing a few good players to add already to the bench list. I saw Perisic, so I think we start straight off and put Perisic right to the top, because I know people are kind of concerned about Perisic, but I just want to kind of say I kind of like him for this game week a lot. We've got players like Trippier and Cher, so a lot of people have Newcastle defenders still. If I'm completely honest, I feel like I would kind of put Trippier like here, and Fabian Cher I would honestly put him pretty low. So they're going to be pretty low. A few people asking for Rodrigo as well. I feel like if I had Rodrigo, I would pretty much play him. Don't think I would really think about benching Rodrigo, so we'll put him up there. A few people asked about Leon Bailey. That one's a little bit different, isn't it? Let's have a think. Bailey would not be too high, if I'm totally honest. He'd probably be, honestly, somewhere down here. Like, yeah, I know that's probably not what you want to see. It's not ideal. Crystal Palace is away is the fixture. We don't even know if he's going to start. It's not ideal, is it? It's not ideal. Rodrigo, no, who says? Podence. Ward. Oh, Solly March. All right, we'll put Solly March on. I think you will probably play March, but not definitely. I think I'll put March like here. Ward versus Raya. I prefer Raya, but I'm not going to... I mean, to be honest, my feelings for Ward has not really changed. You know, those Leicester goalkeepers, for me, are bench players. I'm not even going to think about playing any of them. If you have another goalkeeper who's like a starting goalkeeper, I'll play him pretty much every game. You know, even if you've got like, I don't know, who plays Man City at Newcastle, even if you've got Nick Pope against Newcastle, I'd still rather play him than Ward. Even if you've got... Well, okay, maybe David De Gea is the one exception to the player I would not play. I think De Gea this week against Liverpool is the only goalkeeper I think I would not play above Raya. I know he's against Southampton, but Southampton score goals, by the way. I know, you know, Southampton is an easy fixture, right? But they score goals, they just concede more, which is kind of their problem. And the same situation with Leicester. They are not a good defence, but they are a good attack. That's kind of been the overwhelming thing that we've kind of seen over the last year or so. So, yeah. Any other players that really need to go on here? That are, like, a few people saying Cucurella. Like, I can't really see a reason why you would bench Cucurella. So, I feel like he goes literally right to the top. Because I don't think there's any reason to bench him. Like, if you have him, I wouldn't even be thinking about benching him. Surely you have him because you want to play him, right? He's got to be playing. People asking Rodrigo or Gross in the chat. We've got Rodrigo higher than Gross, so Rodrigo is your guy. Shrewsbury. Oh, that's a good question. Lewis Dunk as well. I'm not sure. Andreas Pereira news. I checked last night. I couldn't find anything on Andreas Pereira. I couldn't find. And the fact that there was nothing said about him is maybe a good sign that he's going to play. I mean, and maybe someone else saw something that I didn't, but certainly in the press conference roundups, I didn't see any mention of Andreas Pereira. So I don't know if he's going to play or not. I would guess that's a good thing, because usually if a player is injured, then the manager would be saying that they're injured. You would think, and if they're not mentioned, it's because there isn't anything to talk about there. So yeah, perhaps the FPL website has got a bit premature with giving him that yellow Dorito of death next to his name. All right, let's add Shrewsbury somewhere. I don't know where. Playing against Southampton, it's a pretty good fixture, but his stats against Arsenal were very, very weak. I guess he would go. I guess he would go here. I guess he would go here. I think Mrs. FPL Mate is playing Shrewsbury this week. So if you like to take your tips from her, then yeah. Why is De Silva that low? Because De Silva is not as good as he's not as good as his points suggest. Like, don't get me wrong, I love him. I love De Silva. I think he's a fantastic player. He used to be an Arsenal player, so I've been following him for a while. In the Championship, he was just an absolute boss, an absolute baller. But he's not like, it'd be a little bit. It'd be a little bit premature to put him on the levels of some of like the 5.5, 6 million midfielders. Those guys are better. They are better. I don't know. De Silva, I think, he's one of those players who could turn out to be a really good FPL asset, but for now, I'm not quite sure. First super chat of the day goes to CLCC. Thank you very much, CLCC. -4 for Robbo and Rashford to Cucurella and Diaz, or Rashford to Gross. Ooh, it's kind of up to you. Who do you prefer out of Robertson and Diaz? I think I prefer Diaz this game week, but I still do quite like Robertson. He's already dropped in price, so it's not like we're avoiding price changes there. I think I would rather do Rashford to Martinelli if you don't have him already, than Rashford to Gross. But then maybe Rashford to, you can afford Rodrigo. Is it worth maybe considering Rashford to Rodrigo? Maybe. I would say. It's a tricky one. Yeah, Rashford to one of Gross or Rodrigo. I don't think I'd take them. I personally, I wouldn't take the -4 to take Robertson to Diaz. I don't think. Anyway. No, I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't do that. All right, fine. Rashford to Gross then. Or Rashford to Rodrigo, or Rashford to Martinelli. Go for one of them. Those are the guys. Those are the boys. Elau Caina says, chances of Nottingham Forest clean sheet. I mean, there's a chance. There's a chance. There's I don't know. I feel like Nottingham Forest, they kept a clean sheet last game week, but I feel like they were quite lucky to have kept a clean sheet, to be honest. Yeah, there is a chance. I don't know. Is there? I don't know. Is there like some kind of clean sheet, bookies odds somewhere? I wonder if let's have a look at Fantasy Football Hub, see what they're saying. Have they got? Because I'm guessing you're looking at Nico. You're thinking about Nico Williams. In fact, let's do a player comparison, and let's put Patterson up against Nico Williams. I know this is very, very arbitrary, but yeah, just like as an example of points predictions. So this game week, can we do a game week by game week? I need to remember how to do this now. All right, form and predictions. Is it this? Or am I on the wrong thing? No, I am on the right thing. I just can't remember how to use this. Is it? it's not worked. All right, okay. Let's just go on point predictions and just go on defenders under 4 million. That would work. And we'll kind of get an idea of what we're expecting from Nico Williams. So Nico Williams' predicted points for this game week is 2.8. So I would say that the chance of clean sheet is like maybe, what's that? Probably like, I don't know, like probably like 30, 30%, 1/3 maybe. Patterson is actually it's probably going to be less than that when you factor in bonus points and attacking returns. So yeah, Nottingham Forest clean sheet chance probably like 25%, and then Patterson has got a much better chance. That looks sort of like a 40% probably chance of a clean sheet for Patterson. So Patterson just edging it this game week, but Nico Williams I do really like. I do really like him. I'm thinking of, switching him at some point. Patterson to Nico Williams in the ultimate sideways 4 million defender transfer. Game week 6 onwards looks good for Nico Williams. And not so good for Patterson. So yeah, one to think about. Definitely one to think about. Any more players we should add to the bench list whilst we're at it? People still asking about Perisic. I've got no early team news right now, but if we get anything before deadline, I'll be sure to let you know. I think he's going to play personally. Andre in the chat has very, very kindly given us some clean sheet odds that says Everton 39%, Nottingham Forest 21%. Okay, so that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. Obviously, Fantasy Football Hub is taking those bookies odds into consideration. So yeah. Everton basically have a higher chance of, almost twice as likely chance of getting a clean sheet than Nottingham Forest. Which kind of factors in why I've put Patterson over Nico Williams this week on the bench list. I think that's about right. Where would Aronson go on the bench list? I think I would put him a little bit lower. I'd probably put Aronson like here. So we'll put him like there. Ward or Sanchez, I would probably... Wait, who did Brighton play? Oh, Brighton play against West Ham, don't they? I would still play Sanchez. Like I was saying earlier, there is pretty much no goalkeepers I would rather play than Ward, other than De Gea. Raheem says, is there no deadline stream for Andy Let's Talk FPL? I don't know. But, I mean, thankfully... You found the superior stream. This is the place to be. This is the new home. This is the new home of FPL. Maybe no, probably not. But I appreciate you guys being here. But is Andy not streaming today? Someone says he's getting married. Wow, congratulations to him. That's huge. That's huge. Fair play. I'll have to make sure I send him some congratulations over Twitter. That's brilliant news. I always thought he was already married. But I mean, whilst the cat's away, the mice will play, and we'll happily accept some of Andy's homeless viewers, I suppose. Abimanu says, Rashi Andreas de Silva, start 1. All right, I can sort this, Abimanu, by adding just Rashford to this bench list. I would put Rashford pretty low, I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't put him super low, though. I would put him above Andreas and de Silva. So I guess we'll put him there. I would still start Rashford over the likes of those guys. I think that would be the sensible thing to do. We have got a couple more super chats that I've missed whilst I was playing around with all kinds of other things. Conrad says Trippier to Walker, Saliba, Gabriel, or Cucurella. Walker, maybe Cucurella, maybe Cucurella. Trippier to Cucurella. Here we go. What else have we got here? Darshan says expected points for Cain. Slash KDB or Jesus. Oh, for captaincy. All right, let's have a look. We'll do some predicted points for captaincy as well, because I know that's pretty. Pretty useful. I mean, if there's captaincy dilemmas, I think obviously Salah is the sensible choice, but Jesus is definitely around there. I think from memory, Cain is predicted quite a lot of points this week as well. Armac says Darwin, Saka and Robbo out for Cain, Martinelli and James in. What do you think? Oh, okay. Interesting. Honestly, I don't hate that. I actually don't hate that at all. If it's over a -8, then obviously, you're accepting a decent amount of risk that you might not get repaid on that immediately. You might not ever get paid on that. But look, if you're doing that for a -4, I think I would strongly consider it. So yeah, I would possibly do that. I would possibly, like, obviously you are improving your team by making those 3 transfers. I kind of like it. If that is getting 3 premium players, though, I maybe wouldn't do it. But if it's just to get a second premium, then I kind of like it because it gives you that flexibility for later as well. The Gaming Panda says, first season taking FPL seriously after finding your channel. Well, welcome to Gaming Panda, and also, you know, enjoy your first series season. It's always, the first series season is always so much learning and it's so much fun. And you get to the end of the season and you think, wow, I feel like I am so much better at this game now. So as long as you're consuming content, as long as you're watching football, and, you know, thinking about stuff, using, you know, tools, then you'll do just fine. But anyway, you've got here, defence is Trent, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, James and Perisic. Should I keep Perisic? Also, love from New Zealand. Well, love right back at you from the opposite side of the world in the UK. I do think you should keep Perisic, yeah. I like it. I like Perisic a lot. Ven Katesh says, start Nico Williams or Patterson. I have both. Well, consult the bench list, my friend. You will see Patterson is higher up than Nico Williams. I think you should start Patterson this game week. People saying that Andy is back with a stream. Okay, well, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys in a bit then, I suppose. Oh, it's all love, of course. It's all love. I need to rearrange my screen a little bit because I can't see you guys in the chat very well. Oh, give me 1 second. Right, there we go. Right, we have got some more. The grind, by the way, to be streaming on your wedding day, like, you have to respect it. If there's one thing you have to respect about Andy, whether you like his content or not, is that the grind is insane. Insane. I literally have just lost like 500 viewers like in an instant there. Mihailo says 2 free transfers, Bailey and Trippier to who? 0.5 in the bank. Okay, so that's the 4.9 plus the 5 million for Trippier, which is a total of 9.9. You got 0.5 in the bank, which takes you to, why do I have to do maths this early in the morning? 10.4. So you got 10.4 million to spend on a defender and a midfielder. There's not much there, to be fair. If you're happy to bench one, then maybe like, oh, you know, this is a tricky question, you know. Can you do Pascal Gross and Nico Williams? Maybe that could be. You're not got much to work with. Oh, you can afford a little bit more than that, can't you? Can you do Pascal Gross and Martinelli? No. Sorry, Nico Williams and Martinelli. Nico Williams and Martinelli. I like those two. Or Nico Williams and Gross, or Nico Williams and Rodrigo. Something like that might work. Because, yeah, that's not a lot of budget to be working with, but, yeah. Maybe that works out for you. So, we've got another question from Mr. President. It says, Man United fan here. Do I really captain Salah? Listen, my friend. In FPL, your team biases have to go out the window. We have to look at this from a pure football point of view. The fact that I support Arsenal is very, very irrelevant. You know, they happen to be playing quite well. They happen to have some good FPL assets this season. If they didn't, if Martinelli was, no, I don't even have Martinelli, but if Saka was 10 million or 9 million, I definitely would not be buying him. If Jesus was like 10 million, I mean, he looks like he was worth it now, but I mean, I wouldn't have gone in game week 1 with him. So yeah, team biases have to go out the window. Unfortunately, Man United are just not in a good place right now, and Salah has such a. I mean, let's have a look at Salah's record versus United. I want to show you just how good it is, and then we'll do a points comparison thing. I have to remember where it is. So record versus record against. Here we go. So if we just switch this to Premier League, and we should be able to see that if we order this by goals, Wait, no, that's assists. If we order this by goals, you can see that Man United are one of Salah's favourite oppositions. So in 9 games played against Manchester United, he has scored 7 goals and got 2 assists. Now, in more recent seasons, that's even better. Because, you know, we've got some worse ones, like the first 4 games he played against Manchester United, he blanked. But the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games he's played against Manchester United, in 5 games against Manchester United, the last 5 over the last couple of years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals and 2 assists. 7 goals and 2 assists in 5 games against Manchester United. That's pretty wacky. Last season, in total, he got 5 goals and 2 assists against Man United. That is just loopy. So, like, it's really, it's a really obvious captain. A really obvious captain, I would say, anyway. I think Jesus is still worth a shout, but, you know, come on now. Matthew C says, my head says Captain Salah, but the little boy inside me... Why is there a little boy inside of you? Don't know, it sounds a bit dodgy, mate. But I know what you're saying. Matthew, you're saying that you want to go for Cain, Captain. What to do? Well, look, Matthew, let me show you the predicted points for this game week. And hopefully you will see that Cain is very, very high up. We need to go all positions here. Might need to refresh this, but if we just go like this. Actually, let's refresh this because actually no, maybe that was right. Because I was kind of like, is that not working? Is Vardy really at the top? Okay, predicted points. Top 5 predicted points for the game week. Vardy, 7.5 predicted points. He does love a game against Southampton, to be fair. I wouldn't transfer in Vardy, I don't think. But if you have him, you've got to be considering him. Son has got 7.1 expected points against Wolves. That's a decent amount. Salah's got 6.9. So Salah is actually 3rd for predicted points. But, I mean, are you willing to go against the crowd there? Could work out very well, could work out very poorly. But, you know, it looks here that there are some other options that are kind of predicted around the same amount of points as Salah. Cain at 6.8 there as well, which is very, very nice. Sterling all the way down at 6.3. So a little bit of a kind of gap between them, I guess. Let's go down a little bit more. De Bruyne, Holland around the 6 points mark. Then after that, it does drop off a little bit. Reece James, if you're considering him or, you know, you've just brought him in, 5.5 predicted points against Leeds, which is pretty decent. Saka, 5.5, things you'd love to see. I'd like it if it was a little bit higher predicted points than Martinelli, but we move. Interestingly, both Saka and Martinelli are predicted more points than Jesus, but it's taking a little bit more data than the last couple of game weeks. It's not quite... I don't think the artificial intelligence that works out the points has quite caught up with Jesus in the new system at Arsenal. And I think in the next couple of game weeks, we're going to see Jesus' predicted points go up and up and up and up and up as the algorithm kind of works out just how pivotal he is for Arsenal. But we'll leave that on screen for a minute whilst I answer some more super chats. Darshan says, Robbo to Cucurella -4. And you asked for the expected points. Well, we gave you the expected points, but Robbo to Cucurella for -4. I don't think I would do that, no. I think I'd rather have Robertson than Cucurella if we include the minus points. Nadish says, De Silva, Andreas, Neto, whom to play this game week and captain. I mean, the obvious captain is Salah. When in doubt, go for Salah this week, I think. Out of those players that you've mentioned, I'd probably play one of De Silva or Neto. Who did I put on the bench list? Higher. I put Neto higher, so go for Neto, I guess. Yeah, Neto. Played Neto. Continuing through the super chats, we've got Drew, who says, how do you rate this team? And he's given me his team here. Pope, Trent, Robbo, Cancelo, Zinchenko, Nico Williams, KDB, Martinelli, Kulusevski, Holland, and Jesus. Looks pretty good. You are missing a crucial Salah, though. There is no Salah, or Diaz, to be fair. Yeah, that's the one worrying thing, that there is no Salah. There's no Liverpool attacker full stop, and they're about to play Man United. Interesting. So yeah, that would be my one thing. Rizzle Diggs says, I've got Williams, De Silva and Cucurella. If I can have one on the field, who should stay on the bench? I'm so torn. Well, Cucurella has to play, I think, out of those 3. But that's not to say Nico Williams is a bad shout, or De Silva is a bad shout, but if you have to bench 2 of those players, it's not going to be Kukurea. So yeah, just want to think about. Kelvin in the super chat here as well has said, do I take a captain punt on Mount? I don't think he's predicted many points this game week, to be honest. Yeah, he's all the way down here at 5.2 predicted points. So there's a lot of algorithm-based better options than Mason Mount. When it is that significant, you do kind of have to take it into consideration. I mean, the jump between 5.2 Mason Mount and 6.9 Salah is just is quite significant. So yeah, I don't think I would not do that personally. Honestly, I would, if I had Mason Mount, I would even consider selling him, despite the fact he's playing Leeds, because he's been playing a little bit deeper. I'm not really like the look of Mason Mount so far this season. Not to say that things can't change. Of course they can. Adrian says, play Digne, Nico Williams, or take a -4 to bring in a defender for 6.7. If you can transfer out Digne for Reece James and play Reece James, even for a -4, I would do that. Nikhil says, what's the latest team news? Is Perisic starting? Let's have a look on Twitter. I don't think so. I don't think we've got any team news. But I would predict that Perisic starts. But I don't think we've got any. I don't think we've got any team news. It doesn't look like it. It would be all over my timeline if we did. So yeah, it looks like no team news, unfortunately, yet. We've still got half an hour, just under. Aditya says, you see Salah scoring 2. I see Jesus scoring 2. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, why not? I think Jesus is a very good captain shout. Like, I'm very glad that I have Jesus in my fantasy team. I don't think I would be very happy without him. And if I didn't have him, I would be doing everything to get him in my team. So don't get me wrong. I think Jesus is a great captaincy option as well. The difference is, if Salah scores 2 and Jesus scores 2, Salah gets more points. He gets an extra point per goal, and then there's that possibility of the clean sheet point as well. So, yes, I do think Jesus is a good option. But the bonus points, not the bonus points, the extra points for doing the same thing is a factor, I think. A few people asking about captaincy on Cancelo. I don't think I would really be considering Cancelo personally. Last week I kind of did a little bit. I really scratched myself. Ow. Last week I would probably be considering it, but this week I don't think I'll be considering captaining Cancelo. But I mean, go for it if you fancy it. Brandon says, Cain or Holland this week? Definitely Cain. Definitely Cain. Cain for the next couple of game weeks is predicted slightly higher points. Fixtures are a little bit better. Better chance of minutes and stuff like that. More minutes. So it's good. Yeah, it's a good time to be a Cain owner for a couple of weeks, and then it's going to be a good time to be a Holland owner again. But you never know what's going to happen. Like, at the end of the day, we thought Cain had the better game week 1 fixture, and Holland had the better Game Week 2 fixture, but we know how that turned out, so fixtures aren't everything. You guys want a captaincy poll? All right, let's do a captaincy poll. I guess it's Salah, Jesus. Is there any other player that you guys think should go in the captaincy poll that isn't Jesus and Salah? I want you guys to put in the chat right now, if you're not captaining Salah or Jesus, who are you captaining? Just to see if there's like a third option there that I can put in the poll, I guess. Let's see what comes out in the chat. Should we just do it? Let's do a search from Perisic. See if anyone is saying anything. I don't think anyone knows. Everyone's just like looking for the news, so I guess we still haven't got any. Right, what we got here? So, I've got a lot. Okay, there's a lot of Canes in there. There's a lot of Hollands. I mean, Holland is always going to be like consideration. All right, should we put? I mean, people really. I mean, so many people have Holland, don't they? I guess, but I don't think Holland is a very. I wouldn't really be touching him for captaincy this week, but I know people will, because Holland is a player that people don't just support the team; people support the player. People like, there's this thing where people just love a particular football player and like follow them on Instagram and everything. And Holland is very much that mould of player that people like, right? Apparently I've missed a super chat. Are you sure? I don't think I've missed any. Apologies if I have missed any. A lot of messages today. Johnny Rock says, what's the best Arsenal triple up and why? Probably the triple attack. Jesus, Martinelli and Saka, because they're all seemingly nailed. Arsenal I don't 100% trust defensively, even though they have some good fixtures. And I think they'll score a lot of goals. And they already are scoring a lot of goals. All right, fine. We're going to put Holland in if in the poll, but I can't see him scoring very well. So who is your game week 3 captain? Salah, Jesus, Holland, or other? Let's get that poll up and running. Let's see what you guys have got for me. Richard in the super chat has... can I collapse that? Richard says, hi, if Mount or Saka blank this week, is it obvious I should sell them? I don't think it's obvious that you should sell them. If Mount blanks again, then no. It's more about I don't really take into consideration if a player blanks or not. It's about how they play more than if they blank. So if Mason Mount scores against Leeds, but it's like the luckiest, jammiest goal that he never even intended to score, or he gets an assist by passing to his teammate in his own box, and the teammate runs up the field and scores a goal. I'm not taking that into consideration. I would still be just as likely to sell Mount. If that's all he did all game, just for an example, if that's all he did all game, then I would be selling Mount. If he scored a goal where, I don't know, like there was a corner that came in and it accidentally bounced off his bum and he didn't even know it was happening. And that goal has been scored before in the Premier League before, by the way. So yeah, if he scored a goal like that, I would still be considering selling him because points don't really matter to me. It's all about how they get them and how they look on the field. So yeah, Mount is very much on the chopping block. Saka not so much, just because he's got very, very good fixtures against 2 back-to-back promoted teams. So even if it doesn't go too well against Bournemouth, then we've still got Fulham next game week. So it'd be worth keeping for that one. Drew says Trent or Jesus as captain. Definitely Jesus more than Trent. Definitely. And I'm imagining that the captaincy poll will reflect that as well. Brandon says something different. I have March and Henry. Yeah, I like those. They're very, very differential. March is something that yesterday, when I was making my midfielders video, he was at, I think, 0.5% ownership. I wonder if he's gone up since then. Anything. Where are you? He's going to be so low, isn't he? Let's just switch to Brighton. That's Aston Villa. This is Brighton. Still at 0.4%. Yeah, so real differential. Henry I like as a pick as well. I do like that. It's definitely an interesting one. Belingoli says, what do you think about Dunk and Tony? I like them. I think they're both good picks. Noel says, why is Neto a better pick than De Silva? Because Neto plays as a forward, and De Silva plays as a box-to-box midfielder. And by the way, I know people are writing off Neto against Spurs, but Wolves have a very good record against Spurs, a pretty good record. So you never know what can happen. I don't think Spurs are completely invulnerable defensively either. I think there's a chance that they can see the goal, and why not Neto to score that goal? It could happen. iDroid93 says, how far would you go to avoid price drops in the beginning of the season? Would you ever consider a -4 or a -8? No, there are no prizes for high team value. I would not sacrifice my team. The aim of FPL is to score points. That's got to be the priority no matter what. If you're taking minuses just to build team value, I know some people like to do that. But from what I've seen, it's you can have an amazing team value, but if your points total isn't very high, then what was the point? What was the point in any of it? So yeah, I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling that, to be honest. We are getting a lot of super chats, so apologies guys if I do miss any. Simon says I've got 1 free transfer. Keep or swap Mahrez. I would probably sell Mahrez, to be honest. I don't know who to though. It depends who you haven't got. If you haven't got Martinelli, then buy him. If you haven't got, I don't know, what other midfielders look good? Zaha, Grealish. No, not Grealish. Grealish would be one I'd sell. Zaha, Rodrigo, Pascal Gross, something like that. I know that's a big downgrade, but I would still do it. I still expect those players will outscore Mahrez. Jack Channon, thank you very much for the super sticker there, my friend. And I think I'm caught up on super chats. I think I am. Let's see if we've got anything else on Perisic. We are getting closer to deadline. I know you guys are. I know it's one of the big questions of the day. Yeah, no team news. No team news. Although FPL Physio, who's a very good FPL manager, is bringing in Perisic. So make of that what you will. A few people going for Perisic by the looks of things. Okay, so captaincy Cain or Holland? I would definitely go for Cain over Holland. I don't know why people are captaining Holland. I mean, I do know because of the name, because he's a superstar name. That's why people are captaining him. But no, like Salah and Jesus are clear of Holland in my opinion. Would not even be considering captaining Holland even if I had him, which I don't, by the way. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's impacting my thought process a little bit. The fact that I can't captain him. Chris says, "What do you think of Ollie Watkins?" I'm not too keen. I think Mrs. FPL Mate sold him. Let's have a look at Mrs. FPL Mate's team. She's made 2 transfers. She's taken a -4 this week. It's always good to catch up and see what she's up to. Let's find her. Here she is. Renamed her team. Ruben lost his cheek, of course. And this is her team from last week. So obviously I can't show you on the pick team page, but she is sold. She sold Thiago Silva and Watkins and replaced them with Jesus and who else was it? Kyle Walker, I think. So yeah, which are 2 good transfers to be fair that she came up with on her own. So fair play. I mean, I think she was just looking at last week's points. But yeah, she's taken out Watkins and Thiago Silva and replaced them with Walker and Jesus. Walker is then playing instead of Cher, and I believe she's captaining Jesus and vice captaining Cain. I think that is what she's done. So if you want to follow her amazing tips, I mean, last week she made the amazing shout on Watkins and Foden. The week before she made the amazing shout on Drewsbury Hall. So there's always a couple of trinkets in here. I wonder who it'll be this week. I wonder. I think her team could score quite well if it wasn't for the fact that there's no Liverpool attacker, which is always a little bit of a concern, isn't it? Always a little bit of a concern. Sigurd says, got 2 million. Patterson to Cucurella or Neto/Bailey upgrade. I would upgrade. Oh, you've got 2 million. So you can take Bailey to you can take a Bailey to a Martinelli or a Rodrigo or a Gross. That's probably what I would do. I'd upgrade Bailey and keep Patterson. I honestly think Patterson could do okay this week. I kind of like him a little bit for this game week. So yeah, I want to consider. Like I'm playing him this game week, so I must have a little bit of confidence in him at least. Sigurd says, got 2 million. Patterson to Cucurella or Neto. Oh wait, I already answered your question, Sigurd. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to answer your question more than once. I mean, I can answer it more than once if you want. Bailey, I would upgrade Bailey. Stuart says, would you do James in for Robertson for a -4? No, I would not. I would not do that. Brandon says, he's given me his whole team. All right, let's have a look at this team, Brandon. Sanchez, Cancelo, Trent, James, Henry, March, Salah, Marcelli, Gundogan, Jesus, Cain, Nico, Rodrigo. Well, that's a strong bench. Any changes you would make? I'm guessing you've already made your transfers. I would probably play Rodrigo over March. Aside from that, you're pretty much set. Yeah, I like it. Someone says they predict a Gordon brace. Whew. Gordon brace could be interesting. I mean, yeah. Everton need a result, don't they? I know I've said this before in videos this week, but I don't think Everton are quite as bad as people are making them out to be. They've just brought 2 new defenders in. Patterson's playing well. Pickford, had a bit of an upturn at the end of last season. Looked okay. I think actually Everton will start to. No, I'm not saying they're going to compete. I know they're probably not even in the top half of the table kind of team. But I don't think they're relegation fodder. And they were close to relegation last season ish for a while. I don't think they're going to be close to relegation this season. I think a lot of people are writing them off a little bit. Ben Story with this £8.99 super chat. Very generous, Ben. Thank you very much, my friend. Hi, Dan. Gross or Rodrigo, Game Week 3 transfer, or take a -4 for them both next week. This would mean trips to Nico Williams, Game Week 3, and then in the Game Week 4, Neto and Bailey out for Rodrigo and Gross. Thoughts? Keep it up. Okay, Ben. Let me think. I'll probably just keep it fairly simple, to be honest. Gross probably sticks out a little bit more this game week. But Gross has great fixtures as well. I do like Rodrigo a lot. It's just this Chelsea game, isn't it? But if anyone's going to score against Chelsea, it's going to be Rodrigo. Maybe go Rodrigo. I mean, he's top scoring. I mean, the one thing, by the way, is that Bamford is not... The injury is not as bad as we thought. Bamford is probably going to be back pretty soon. And Bamford is going to be on penalties as well when Bamford's back. So that's the one thing that's kind of been taken away from Rodrigo. It's the penalties and the playing as a striker over the slightly longer period, because it's Chelsea this week and then we're going to have Bamford back after that. So, or at least soon after that, which is not as good. Yeah. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Maybe Pascal Gross is the better shout, to be fair. Sam Preston says, by the look of it, Sessegnon starting. Should I keep Zinchenko or swap for Kukurea or Perisic? I mean, I would keep Zinchenko, by the way. Does it actually look like Sessegnon starting? Have we got some team news now? And if so, is it from anyone reliable? People still don't know if Perisic is starting. Like I say, it'd be all over Twitter if we knew for sure. And we don't. So, yeah, no news on Perisic. I still think he's going to start. Like, I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. But I think he will start. So, yeah, I think keep it simple. I don't think you need to make a transfer there at all, really. Armok has given me his team there as well. Thank you very much for the super chat, Armok. I really appreciate that. Ramsdale, Trent, Cancelo, Perisic, Kukurea, Salah, Martinez, De Silva, Holland, Tony, Jesus, Forster, Soucek, Brandon Williams, Murphy. Who's the captain and who to bench? Or is this okay? You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much, Armok. I mean, I think you've got your starting 11. For your players, you got your starting 11 right. Like, those are definitely the 11 players out of those 15 that I would play. For captaincy, you don't have Salah. Oh, you do have Salah. Sorry, you do have Salah. You do have Jesus. The simple answer is Salah. If you're feeling a little bit different, Jesus. But aside from those two, out of your players, I would not be considering anyone outside of Salah and Jesus, personally. Armac says, I have two options in mind. Darwin, Saka, Robbo for Cain, Martinelli, James. Or Darwin, Bailey, Robbo for Tony, Kulusevski, and then one of Walker or Kukurea. I don't love... I mean, you're removing two Liverpool players and not replacing them. You're going to go into this game week against Manchester United with one Liverpool player. Assuming you have a Liverpool player. Yeah, that stinks a little bit for me. Yeah, I'm not keen on that one. I think if you're going to do one of these moves, make sure that if you're going to remove Robertson and Darwin, make sure you bring in Diaz. I would probably do something more simple. I would just I don't know, Darwin and Bailey for Diaz and Welbeck or someone like that. I don't know. There's not really too many cheap forwards, is there? But yeah, if you're what I would say, Armac, I don't want to tell you exactly what to do. I don't really like any of those. I don't like any of those moves really, because you're removing two Liverpool players when they're about to play Manchester United, and you're not replacing them with any new Liverpool players. So yeah, not a fan, particularly for a -4. Maybe you can come up with something a little bit better. Jack Channon says Robbo and Bailey to James and Gross or Trippier to Kukurea and a 5 million defender, or any 5 million defender. Oh, I see. Okay. I kind of like Robbo and Bailey to James and Gross. I kind of like. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe. It's risky. Yeah, okay. Robbo and Bailey to James and Gross. Let's back that one. Let's back that one. I'm not. When we start getting into the regions of -4s and -8s, everything makes me nervous. Even good transfers make me nervous. I just hate hits. Someone says they want to see the bench list. Who is it? Ethan wants to see the bench list. There you go, my friend. Is Tony good? Yeah, Tony is good. Like, aside from probably the obviously aside from Cain, Holland, and Jesus, who are the 3 best forwards in the game, no one's doubting that. Tony's probably the next best to go for it at this moment. He's probably the best one. People still asking for team news. I know, we only got 10 minutes, haven't we? We only got 10 minutes. Let's see if we can find anything concrete. No one. We got nothing concrete still. Nobody knows. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any leaks, to be fair. I mean, we'll keep checking right to the deadline, but it's not looking too likely at this point. And Mahir says, who should I play? Nico Williams or Neto? Probably Neto. What did I put? Actually, who did I put on the bench list? No, I put Nico Williams higher. Play Nico Williams. Play Nico. That is a little bit. I feel like I've been a little bit harsh on Neto there. I mean, I'm gonna have to move some things around. I feel like I would play all of these players above Neto though. Oh God, I'm just gonna move things around on the bench just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been harsh on Neto, but I really would put him that low. Like, I'm struggling to drop anyone below him, to be honest. Kind of difficult. Leo says bench Nico Williams or De Silva or start both. Well, who would you be sacrificing if you started both? I would rather play Nico Williams than De Silva. I kind of like these 4 million defenders. Thief says, is it risky to captain Holland instead of Salah? Yes, it is incredibly risky to do so. But if you're happy to take that risk and you want to do that, then absolutely go for it. If you're feeling it, then go for it. Yeah. Would I captain Holland instead of Salah? No way. No way. Just a reminder, guys, on the bench list, if you have a bench dilemma that you are wondering about and you want to ask me who I would play out of the two, just look on this list. If you have Cucurella and Archer, for example, because Cucurella is higher, then I would recommend playing Cucurella, and you can pair any 2 players or 3 players or whatever. Christopher I says, are you looking to transfer out Robbo? I think everyone is kind of considering transferring out Robbo. I don't think it's a terrible move to take him out, but I at the same time I don't want people to think he's a bad pick suddenly. He's 6.9 million, by the way. Now, price drop last night. So hopefully you guys maybe made some transfers last night. Maybe, yeah. Someone says I missed a super chat. Aha, I did. Here it is. So Arvid, -4 for Cucurella and Martinelli instead of Robbo and Neto. Oh, do I like that? Can you not do any better than that? I feel like you're freeing up a lot of money and not bringing very much in. Can you not do like James and Martinelli? Or Perisic and Martinelli? I'd rather have Perisic than Cucurella. I know that's controversial, but I just would. That's what I would do, Arvid. I would strongly consider that transfer. I'm not saying it's the right transfer, but I would strongly consider that transfer if it meant getting Perisic in. Or, well, Reece James preferably, if not, maybe Perisic instead of Cucurella. But that's just me. That's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Aha! The show team gang have arrived. 5 minutes before deadline. That's always the way. Saying, oh, it's time to show your team. I mean, I can show you my team. I can show you what my team looked like at 1 a.m. last night. And this is it. This is my team from 1 a.m. last night. And the question is, has it changed since? Which is an interesting question, isn't it? Has it changed since? Well, I guess we'll never know. I guess we will never know. But there you go. Welcome, show team gang. People saying, oh, if you don't show your team, you're going to lose followers. Good. I'm honestly fine with that. I mean, I've got plenty of I'm more than lucky. I have more than I'm happy with. I'm so grateful for the amount of followers I have. If I lost 50,000 overnight, well, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if I lost 50,000 overnight, I would still be so happy and so grateful for the place I am. So yeah, I'm certainly not trying to win over new followers by doing something that I don't think is quite right. Neto bad record versus Spurs. Yeah. It's one of those things, isn't it? Quick. We'll do one more quick flash of the bench list. So just take it in. I know people are making those final decisions. I just need to check on my phone to see if just to check that my team is all 100% set up how I want it to be. It's always good to double check your team. Always good to double check your team. Even if you think you've got it 100% right. A few people are saying that we've got Perisic news as well, which is really interesting. Okay. Where is this source? If someone can link me to the source, then... Alright, yeah, a few people, it looks like... okay, a few people saying it's... Look, it's Perisic starting. Hi, FPL Mate. Luke, that's class. That's class from you, Luke. Fair play. Where is this? Where's this source? I can't find it. Is FPL Harry? Oh, no, he's not. No. Yeah, I don't think we do actually have anything. I don't think we have anything. Oh, well. Unless we do. And I've just not seen it. But, yeah, I guess we'll see. I can't find it. So I'm not going to verify something I can't find. Okay, we've got one more super chat. Lipex Gaming, I'm 30 points off the top of my mini league. So Captain Jesus, if you really want to, then fair enough. If you really want to, honestly, if you're 30 points off the top of your mini league, I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth it. Look, there's a long season ahead. You don't need to worry about 30 points right now. 30 points means very little right now. Things can change very quickly over the next 3 or 4 weeks. Or to be fair, things can change so much until halfway point in the season. Then changes start happening a little bit more slowly. So yeah, look, 30 points after game week 2 is not a big deal. Don't worry too much about going too differential. Just pick the players you think will score the most points. People saying it was Booner again trolling. Yeah, this is why I've got him muted, just so we don't do this dance around troll or fake news on streams. I actually like Booner, by the way. I think he's a good guy, but look, I just don't want that in streams, kind of fooling people. Someone said they nearly forgot to press the confirm button. Make sure you're pressing that confirm button. In fact, guys, there is 2 minutes. 2 minutes till deadline. So make sure you are, to the best of your ability, making sure your team is set. Like, the stream that you're watching right now is second priority right now. Go and make sure your team is looking good. I'm like, FPL Twitter account just tweeted that the deadline is passed. We've still got like 30 seconds according to me. Let's just quickly do this and then this, and at like 1 second to deadline I'll show the team. Oh, that team's looking nice, Dan. Oh, Danny boy, your team is looking beautiful. Your team is looking beautiful. Let's end the poll as well. I think we're set on that one now, aren't we? Salah, the outright winner, 63%. Jesus, 24%. Holland, 6%. And other 5%. So still a lot of people going for Holland captain, which is kind of interesting. I think deadline's about to pass, so let's show you the team. My team. There we go, guys. There we go. This is my team. So we did make one more transfer. There was no minuses this week. I just used my 2 free transfers. The first free transfer obviously was Bailey to De Silva, who's gone to my bench. And my second transfer was Neto to Pascal Gross. So that's what I've gone for. Gross, I like a lot. I've been watching a lot of clips from him, rewatching the games, to see how he's been playing. He's been playing good, really good positioning, creative, taking shots on, getting in those dangerous positions. And after this West Ham game, which I think is an okay fixture, I don't think it's an amazing fixture. After that, Leeds, Fulham, Leicester, Bournemouth, that 4. I really like. And then I'll possibly be looking to move him on either Crystal Palace or Liverpool at some point there. That's where I'd be looking to move him on, somewhere around this area. So for a short-term punt on a 5.7 million midfielder, gained team value by doing this already. Then, yeah. An absolutely gross transfer, don't get me wrong. Any grobs in the chat? We've got a few grobs in the chat. Anyone on grob? Grob-a-lob-a-dob-dob? Any grob-a-love? Arzab says De Silva will punish you. I very much doubt that. Oran says it's comeback week. My friend, it is comeback week. It was the most obvious transfer ever. Well, I mean, if it was an obvious transfer, good. If it's obvious, sometimes if a transfer is really obvious, then it's obvious like for a reason, right? But we're going for it. Grob gang, let's go. I like the meme of just calling him Grob at this point. By the way, guys, just to do a little bit of education. Just do a little bit of education. This B-looking thing, this B-looking ass thing, is not actually a B. It's a German letter. I can't remember what it's called. It's like something like a something's S. Schnitzel's S. Soft S or something like that. Someone in the chat can probably tell me what that S character is called. It's called something's S. Anyway, what it's a double S. So this symbol is not a B, it's a double. This is a symbol that means SS. So if you don't have access to this key on your keyboard, or you don't know how to find it on your keyboard, either copy and paste it, which is just long, or you can literally just replace it with 2 S's. So just do GROSS. GROSS is actually what Pascal Gross wears on the back of his shirt for Brighton. So it's absolutely fine to replace that symbol with S, with 2 S's, but it's not a B. And I think that's the is it? Oh, it's called an S. I actually have heard of it called an S. I think I've heard it called something else as well. Something's S. That's what I learned in school. People calling it an umlaut, that's definitely wrong. S, it sounds familiar. Maybe I need to Wikipedia this. Or Google. Shafts S. That's what I was thinking of. Shafts S. Also, called the S it, or Shafts S. That's what I was thinking about. Or Sharp S. I think that's also what I've heard it called. Esset is new though. I mean, I think I might have heard of it, but I was not. That wouldn't have come to my mind. It would not have come to my mind. But there we are, a little bit of German learning for you. Schaf's S. And there we go. Now we can all... that's not my team. That's Morgan's team. Now we can all collectively stop calling him Grob. Stop calling him Grob. He's no longer Grob. Although maybe we should, I feel like we should call him Grob for the meme, just for the channel meme. But then people will start accusing us of being stupid. Craig says Grob sounds funny. I know, that's why I want to call him Grob. Grobba-lobba-dob-dob. Let's go, Grobby. Let's go, Grobby. Grobby boy. How confident is everyone feeling, by the way? Shrewsbury with the Shafts S there. Someone said, how many followers did you lose? Let's have a look. Because I did pretty much command people to unfollow me if they were going to unsubscribe. So, between the beginning of this stream and now, how many followers did I lose? I lost... sorry, I actually gained 300. So, it just goes to show, the people who just come to these streams who just a copy of the team are just a vocal minority. It really doesn't matter. You guys are feeling confident? Few people not feeling too confident. Not that confident, not too confident. Well, that's a shame. Honestly, I know some people have got low scores so far, but so far, you know, there's been players who've been unlucky not to score more points. It could be better. You know, things can turn around. Points don't mean too much at this point of the season. They really don't. Just because a player hasn't scored points in the first 2 game weeks doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to score points in the next 2 game weeks. So, Saka, for example, we must be thinking that Saka's going to outscore his last couple of points, right? Lots of people nervous. There's a lot of nerves going around this week. A lot of nerves. MD says, feeling good after seeing your team. Good man. Good man. Settlecore says, what was your rank after 3 game weeks last year? I have to tell the truth. Last week, my game week 3 rank was pretty good. It was dumb good. But it was a freak occurrence. I'm not going to expect that to happen every year, but it was around, I think it was around 10,000 maybe, 10,000th in the world. But I just got, the swings very, very right at the start of the season. Yeah. By the way, guys, another quick shout out to Fantasy Football Hub. If you want to go check them out, the link is in the description. I think you've still got time to get 50% off. I think maybe one of you guys will have to see, but I think you can still get 50% off Fantasy Football Hub now. I think it's until the kickoff for this first game or something like that. Or maybe it's until Monday. But certainly this is certainly the last chance to get your 50% off. After that, I think using my code you can get it's something somewhere between 20 and 30% off. I can't remember now. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, Third Eye says I thought the cutoff was 11:30. No. At least I'll have 2 transfers for next game week. That's the good thing. Craig says, is this year's harder because there's loads of content creators or because the template has done well so far? There's been loads of content creators. I mean, to be fair, there is more content creators than ever before. The fact that Sky Sports is now covering FPL is quite mad. I don't know. Apparatus says, I'm copying your team, but I watched all the clips during the week and I only watch your channel. It's okay. I mean, no. I mean, look, morally to copy a team is questionable, particularly when you're playing in leagues with money incentives. I think that is morally questionable. But if you're taking in information and making decisions based on that information, rather than copying and making moves because you agree with that they're good moves rather than just blindly copying, then I guess that's a little bit better. I don't know. Basically, I'm just going to make it as difficult as possible for people to copy my team. And then we'll get, by the time we get to game week 5 or something, people will be, the teams will be different enough there where I can actually show you what I'm doing, which is a shame. I don't have to do it, but it's a shame, we feel like we have to do this. It goes back to what Craig says, is this year harder because there's loads of content creators? If me and Andy and whoever else were just showing our team every game week exactly what we're going to do before the deadline, then there would be thousands, tens of thousands of people with identical teams, and it would be harsh on people who are just giving it a go off their own back and working hard, doing their own research and just trying to do really well. It would be harsh on them, like particularly if you're in like a league of your mates. And how would you feel if one of your mates in your mini league was like copying a fantasy football creators team every week, and you're out there trying your best, to do really well, and this person happens to be copying the creator who's doing insanely well, and basically they're untouchable in the league, because no matter what you do, it's very hard to put in as much research, I guess, as an FPL content creator. So I'm like, me personally, I know that that is why I got the good rank last year, is I'm always going to be at an advantage because I can afford to spend literally all day, every day thinking about fantasy football, researching fantasy football. So yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult. I don't think, and people are saying copying is no fun. You're absolutely right. It is no fun whatsoever, but I feel like the mentality of the people who are copying aren't playing FPL for fun. They're playing because they want to win mini leagues, whether that's for financial incentives or whether that's because they want to flex on their friends. It's usually money, and I think that's what pushed me over the edge this year, where I was just saying I'm going to make it difficult for people to copy my team, because so many people have messaged me saying people are copying teams and entering into money leagues. Apparently this is a big thing in certain parts of Asia in particular, where there are huge prizes for mini leagues. So, fun is not even a consideration. When a lot of money is on the line, who cares about fun? Like, most people don't go to their work for fun. They do it because they make money. So when enough money is added to it, the fun is kind of sapped out of it, and people don't care about fun anymore, and they're just doing it for the money, which is unideal. I just feel like even if I lose followers over it, I would rather do that. So I don't know. Maybe I know not everyone's going to agree with that one, by the way, which is fine. That's fine. A few people asking about doing live watch-alongs. I can't today because we've got some family coming over, and I've got to go out as well. But it is definitely on the cards soon. Definitely on the cards. It's something I definitely want to add. It's something I definitely want to add to the channel. I think so. James says, "Are you doing bad this year?" I mean, I guess so. I mean, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about my rank. I think I can catch up pretty quickly. I'm not too worried. It's certainly not season over type stuff. But yeah, look. Would I have preferred a better start? Would I have preferred a start like last season? Of course. But I'm not worried. There's a long season ahead. HUD says currently 4.7 million. Is that bad? Look, it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but there's a long season ahead. We are 2 game weeks in. And just the same, Mr. Magman says I'm currently top 100k. Amazing. But just obviously, if you're working really hard to make the right transfers and really concentrating, then you can keep that rank all season now. But equally, in this short period of time, things can swing both ways. Of course, says Dan, would you do a Champions League FPL start? I've never played fantasy Champions League. Never played it. Not really interesting to me, if I'm honest. The fact that Arsenal haven't been in the Champions League for so long means I watch Champions League football, but I don't obsess over it. I will definitely be doing World Cup fantasy. That's something I am really excited about. Like we are like when World Cup fantasy comes around, we are absolutely going to smash it. We're absolutely going to smash out the World Cup fantasy. Like the Euros fantasy content went really well last summer. I think I finished I can't remember what I finished. I think I finished 3,000th in the world out of 6 million players. So pretty good. So I feel pretty confident on because a lot of people have a go at World Cup fantasy, but it's quite easy to beat a lot of the people. Because about at least half of the people who play World Cup fantasy, really don't know ball, and particularly don't know international ball, right? So it's actually, with a lot of research, and I will be doing a crazy amount of research, and I'm sure you guys will as well. I think World Cup fantasy is quite easy to get into the top 1% compared to some of the others. Patrick says, "Hey Dan, I really want to ask: are you a r/Gunners lurker? Do you actually comment or post in disguise?" I don't comment or post, but I am a member of r/Gunners. I don't. Yeah, I'm not very well liked on Reddit. Reddit does not like FPL Mate, particularly the fantasy Premier League Reddit subreddit. But that's a conversation for another time, I suppose. I don't know. To be fair, I think the fantasy subreddit just hates content creators in general. It's real interesting kind of mentality they've got over there, a lot of people. But fair enough. Jordan S. Monk says, "I was top 5k last season after about 5 game weeks without using any chips, but then massively fell off, so early rank means nothing." Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible to keep a rank, but it's difficult to say that your rank is solidified until game week. I mean, it's never solidified, don't get me wrong, but it's difficult to say that it's an accurate reflection of how well you're doing until, I don't know, game week 6, maybe? Don't know. Leo says, "Do you have any associations with AFTV?" No, I do not. People saying we've got some Twitter Perisic news. I don't recognise that account, so I'm not going to promote that one. I'm not sure. Of course, says Hull have a few international players at lesser known international teams. So I've got your back for World Cup FPL gems. I mean, if you've got any Hull suggestions, but I don't know if we'll be going for too many Hull players in our World Cup fantasy teams. But you never know. Som says, "Really like your transfer. Good luck with Gameweek 3. Thank you very much, Som. Good luck to you as well, my friend." Is Perisic starting? I don't know. We'll find out soon. As soon as we find out, I'll be letting you guys know. Dick McWillie says, "Now I've been 3 million and up to 100k in January, so rank really means nothing." I don't want to say it means nothing, but at the same time, yeah. Interestingly, on the topic of Arsenal Fan TV, I subscribed to Arsenal Fan TV because I've been in and around YouTube for ages because I just love YouTube. I subscribed to them this is 10 years ago, and they had 10,000 subscribers, and then I checked back and they were absolutely they'd just gone absolutely crazy and suddenly on millions of subscribers. It was quite mad. But I like to think I scouted them nice and early. Maybe I should have tried and get some association with them at the time. But never mind. Delboy Tokyo says, "Cheers from Japan. Love your streams. Nice to see people from all around the world in the streams." It really is. Game's updated already. Wow. All right. People now saying Perisic is benched. So we get a lot of contradicting people. Who is this confirmed by? It's time to go. AFTV is legendary. To be fair, I do feel like AFTV isn't aimed at Arsenal fans. I mean, some of the stuff is aimed at Arsenal fans, but their success has been around being, laughed at by fans of other teams. Really. Alex says, best of luck, Dan. Funny question. Do you ever take the odd punt from your wife? As in, like, I'm going to assume you're talking about FPL. And nothing else. No, I don't take FPL advice from my wife. No. Not even for fun. Not even for fun. Don Robbie is basically a YouTube game changer since he is the man that built football fan channels. That's so true. That is so true because it was a long time ago where that started. Kenny Sevilla really has said this a few times, so we'll answer this one. Can we get a shout out for Andy getting married and still grinding FPL? Yes, we can. We can get another shout out for that. But I mean, to be fair, he definitely does not need or want a shout out from me. And also, I already gave him a shout out and said, "Wow, crazy grinds" earlier on in the stream. But we'll give him another one. We'll give him another one. 2 shout outs from FPL Mate in one day. I mean, if that hasn't made, I don't know what Let's Talk FPL is up to today, but I tell you what, 2 shout outs from FPL Mate, that's got to be the best thing to happen to him all day today. That's for sure. It's just got to be. It's just got to be. Different says, I'm captaining Jesus. Wish me luck. Good luck, my friend. Joy Seal has become a member of the channel. Thank you very much. Throw some emojis in the chat, Joy Seal. I want to see them. I want to see a blackcurrant squash emoji. That's what I want to see. Why Patterson over to Silva? I think he'll do quite well. I think he'll do quite well. Joe says, have I missed the deadline? Joe, my friend. Joe, my friend. You have sadly missed the deadline. I mean, you've not missed the game week 4 deadline, if that's anything. People saying he's getting married. All right, okay. Well, in that case, you 2 shout outs from FPL Mate and getting married on the same day. What a day! What a day! I mean, that's what I'd want to happen on my wedding day. I'm just gonna say that. All right, now we're saying Perisic starts. I don't know what kind of things we're seeing. All right, team news and ticks. I do trust that account, to be fair. So I'm happy to back this one. I'm happy to back this one. Perisic starts. My team was right. Let's have a look. Oh God, what is happening? Can I just... Oh, I'm not logged in. I hate Instagram on computer. I'm not looking at that stupid team. I don't know what it looks like. But maybe one of you guys can put in the chat what that... If you guys are on Instagram... Actually, I'll just go on my Instagram on my phone and just read it out to you guys. Christian says, I bought 10 beers today. Wish me luck. I hope they weren't all for you, my friend. But yeah, I hope Liverpool and Arsenal does great and that Perisic gets an assist. Let's go. We've got a few new members. We have got a few new members. Whoa, hello. Jake SAFC. Thank you very much, Jake, for becoming a member of the channel. Glenn as well. What's up, my friends? My new friends. My new mates. Thank you. Oh, Jake used to be a member last season, so I'm back. Ah, I see. And I can see you've got the purple badge. Purple, red badge already. Love it. Chicken with a super chat here. A post-deadline super chat. This is rare. Thank you, Chicken. Been watching all your vids and would never copy your team. That's very unfair. I went with Jesus, Holland, Salah captain, Gordon, Kulusevski, Martinelli, James, Trent, Robbo, Gabriel, Edison. Can I have your thoughts? I think that should do quite well. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. No Cancelo, but I don't think that's going to matter too much this game week. Yeah, it's certainly an interesting team. It's the 5-3-2, I think. Is that 5-3-2? No, it's a 4. No, it's a 4-4-2. Yeah, I see. Can't go wrong with Salah captain, my friend. Can't go wrong with Salah captain. All right, let's read out this team. So it is... Oh God, that's hard to read. Lloris, Sanchez, Dyer, Davies, Emerson, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Perisic, Kulusevski, Cain, and Son. So no Richarlison, but Perisic is in. There we go. Perisic. FPL Phillips has put it in the chat as well. There you go. So yeah, Perisic, let's go. We'll get the confirmation on that in 6 minutes. No Sessegnon, no. No Sessegnon today. It says Perisic day. Yes, I see you, Joyce Sill, with the blackcurrant squash emojis. Things we love to see. And thank you guys for throwing that in the chat as well, the team. Chris W with the dub here. Perisic, definitely he is starting. Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it, Chris? Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Paul Roberts, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel as well. Throw in those blackcurrant squash emojis. Things we love to see. Things we love to see. Hopefully Salah rewards us this week from Dr. Sayandeep. Yeah. I hope so. Yeah. A blank was disappointing last game week. Adam, another member. The members are going mad. The members are going mad. We love it. We absolutely love it. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. Sweet. More blackcurrant squash emojis in the chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's not Ribena though. No. If Ribena want to sponsor me, then they can. But until then, I refuse to drink Ribena. Where's this news from? It's from this account called Team News and Ticks, which I do rate this. I rate this news source. They're often right. They are good. Kenny Sevilla says, to be fair, your player ratings videos are the best. Thank you so much. They're saving me this year. If you got on FPL on your wedding day, I will spam Andy's videos as well. I'm already married, so I mean, there will be no shout outs for me on my wedding day. No one gave me a shout out on my wedding day. It was the worst day. Like, what's the point in getting married if you don't get a shout out from FPL YouTubers? Like, this is a meaningless day. It's an empty day. Charlie, thank you very much for becoming a member as well. We're enjoying the emojis. Jake's throwing in the buy, sell, keep, avoid emojis. Omar's throwing in a couple of whiskey shots. Nice. Perisic owners got a feast today. Yeah, I have to say I am jealous of Perisic owners. I am jealous. Really considered it. Dick McWillie says, missed the super chat on my honeymoon. Thanks for all the vids, mate. Great content. Thank you very much, Dick. You don't need to do that, my friend. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you. Even though I hate saying your name. I every time I say it, it's like, is my video going to get demonetized? If I keep saying this name, then I'm not gonna be monetized anymore. I'm gonna go hungry on the next wedding. All right, we'll think about it for the next wedding. Marriage round 2. Jai says, "Are you the second best FPL YouTuber?" Maybe. I guess that's. I mean, some people will say I don't make the top 10, but look, who knows? I have the aim, the goal to be the best. I don't know if I've got it in my locker or not, but that's a different question. Just call him Richard. All right, you know what? I am going to call you Richard from now on. DMAC. Oh, I'm not going to remember that. D McDub. D McDub. I like D McDub. Luke says the first. Yeah, maybe. Jake SFFC is thrown in the captain Holland avoid. I love it. I love it. I love it. What channel is the Spurs match on? I think it's, if you're in the UK, I think it's on it's BT, right? I think it's BT. Let me just double check that. That's what they usually do. BT for the first for the 12:30 kickoff. I'm sure by the time I check, someone's already given the answer in the chat. But we move. Where is it even? Yeah, BT Sport. D McDub is fine. We like that. Perisic or Zinchenko? I mean, right now, I wish I had Perisic. Maddie says, your top 5 FPL YouTubers for sure. There's only about 5 of us, so I guess we'll take that. Love these emojis. They're good, aren't they? I need to add some more, actually. I need to add some more. Christian says, here in Norway, it's very expensive to watch the Premier League. I don't know how expensive it is in Norway, but to get all coverage of the Premier League in the UK, I say all coverage, you don't get all coverage. You get about, because we don't display the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the UK, they can't be televised. It means, we got team news by the way, final team news. It means that basically we pay, it's something like £55 a month, which is a ridiculous amount of money, to get, 10 games a week? Maybe like, I don't know. No, it's not 10 games a week, because there is only 10 games. Maybe like it's basically 6 or 7 Premier League games a week, and you have to pay over £50. Absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Super chat from Nathan, who's giving me his team here. Mendy, Perisic, Zinchenko, James, Cancelo, Martinelli, Madders, KDB, Kulu, Holland, and Jesus. Feeling confident with it. It does look good. Are you not scared about the fact that there's no Liverpool players in your team whatsoever? Because I would be terrified, Nathan. I would be terrified. Let's have a look. Okay. So, what is this? Oh. Okay. So, yeah, we've got confirmation on that. Perisic's playing left wing. No, Perisic is not playing left wing. He's playing left wing back. That's yeah. So what we thought. This is the confirmed team. For the Wolves team, Guedes makes his first start. Jimenez is back on the bench. We've got anything else interesting there? Hwang is on the bench. I guess that's kind of interesting. Jimenez and Traore look like they're coming close, though, which is another thing that worries me a little bit about Neto. Because Guedes, you feel like, is probably going to start. I think there could be some rotation soon in that Wolves team. And then Lloris, Royale, Sanchez, Dyer. Interesting. So yeah, those of you guys saying Perisic benched, it's Perisic starts. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. I'm just going to answer a few super chats because a busy day for me, including the football. Connor says, I bought Perisic this week. Let's go. Good luck, Connor. I think you're going to do well. I think you're going to be very glad about that transfer. Charlie McGregor says, Dan, hell from Australia. Oh, I guess that's trying to say hello, not hell. Hello from Australia. And my first season because of time zone. Wanted to thank you for content this season and last. Helped me to my best rank last year. Well, thank you so much, Charlie. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad you're just enjoying and playing FPL. It's always good to get more people involved. It is, it's really quite crazy how many new people from all around the world are enjoying and playing FPL. So we love it. We absolutely love it. But there we go. Bean GT says there's 4 3 p.m. games today. Yeah. I mean, this is what I mean about it being so expensive in the UK, because we pay, £50 to £60. It's something like that. And we only get 6 games televised per week. So I don't know if it's more expensive in some other countries. I think in most other countries it's a lot cheaper than that. And you get all the games. Because this is the only country where we can't show those games. It's tough. It's tough. Like, growing up, I never had Sky Sports or BT because it was just too expensive. It was only since becoming an adult where I can kind of prioritise where my money goes, which is not always sensible. That we kind of can actually watch football. The Gaming Panda says for £18 or 25 New Zealand dollars, we can get all Premier League games. That's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. Amazing. Yeah, some of you guys, like, the prices you're paying is quite mad. SMBTD says $33.99 Sky Sports per month, Dan. Yeah, but then you've got BT as well. Oh, you know what? I haven't even thought Amazon broadcasts a load of games as well. And that's what, £8 or £9 a month? So really, it's like 60... It's over £60. Maybe like £65 by the time you factor in Amazon as well. Damn. Anyway, right, guys, I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for the thank you so much for the stream today, guys. I really enjoyed this one. I'm feeling really excited actually about this football. So I'll catch you guys over on Twitter, I guess. We'll be tweeting and reacting and stuff like that over on Twitter at FPL Mate if you want to go follow me over there. But yeah, aside from that, I will see you on Monday's reaction stream. We'll be doing a reaction stream on Monday after the Liverpool Man United game. That should be a really interesting reaction stream. So I hope to see you then. That'll be about 10 p.m. UK time on Monday. And obviously we'll be doing a video on Monday as well during the day. But there we go, guys. Like, subscribe if you'd like to as well. Really appreciate all of the likes and subscribes and stuff like that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.